Kim Ji-yeon is a hitman, and not just any ordinary one. He's the #1 hitman in the business. They even have a nickname for him, the Ghost of Fighting. And here he is right now, finishing up his latest job. Suddenly, he whips around to a noise, and it's a tiny brown round thing. Surprise. It's a pug begging for belly scritches. Our hitman's face melts. Oh, it's my cutie. Did I make you wait long, Mongu? Let's go get something to eat, he tells the little guy. And they walk off out of the warehouse, leaving a trail of bodies behind. As the dynamic duo walk home, they hear a mom talking to her kid about snacks. That reminds him, Mongu needs some snacks too. His phone suddenly buzzes with a new message. He thinks it's a new mission, but it's just a spam message with an offer to take over Murim. So off to the pet shop he goes. Inside, he grabs a jar of treats. Mongu will even like these? A very tough decision. As he's browsing, another man walks into the aisle behind him. Perfect time, the man mumbles. Jian wonders what the fool is even mumbling about. Jian asks, seriously, what are you even saying? Are you talking to me? Bingo, the man interrupts. I am talking to you. With a pistol pointed at Jian, the stranger grins. I was saying it is the perfect day for you to die. Goodbye, #1. Jian curses under his breath. He knew it. He had a bad feeling about today. And just like that, he's dead. But his final thought is of poor Mongu. Who's going to take care of him now? But hold up, he opens his eyes and who does he see? It's Mongu. And a bald guy? Jian gives the guy a violent headbutt. He sits up, clutching his head in disbelief. What in the world? Did I not just die? I definitely got shot. Then he sees Mongu safe and sound. What a relief. Suddenly, a voice cries out, he has finally arrived. Our savior has answered our calls. Yeon just wonders what this baldy is yapping about. He looks around to see a massive crowd of people in matching uniforms, all cheering. Jian is utterly bewildered. The bald man with a goatee steps forward. I greet you, savior. The man introduces himself as the Blood Death cult's first elder, Daedok. Jian just thinks, Daedok? Bald eagle? He is losing it. And what savior? What in the world is happening? Daedok simply states, we have only one wish, and that is to conquer Murim. Jian can only stare blankly. Then, they start to explain it to him. This isn't his world anymore. They summoned him to this dimension called Murim to help them conquer it. And his reaction? What a bunch of lunatics, he chuckles. Emotional damage, right there. But seriously, these dudes look delusional. He can see it in their eyes. Time to get out of here. He checks his phone. No signal. Classic isekai moment, right? He turns to the crowd. Oi, you absolute buffoons. Send me back to my own world before I start using some very bad words. But aren't you our savior? Daedok asks. I am not. Jian shouts back. Stop this savior nonsense and just send me back. But his outburst only makes the crowd cheer harder. They love his fighting spirit. He will definitely make a good savior. Suddenly, a robed figure appears behind him, clarifying that the first elder is not bald. He just never had any hair to begin with. Cue the shock and outrage. How disgusting. Daedok trembles with rage and embarrassment. He knew he shouldn't have told that old geezer his secret. The newcomer tells Jian, you should not recklessly say whatever is on your mind, or you might die. Alright folks, enter Sa Hyung-young, the Blood Death cult's leader. Jian just smirks. You are mistaken, Gramps. You are the ones who called me here. So think carefully. What are you going to do with me now? If you make another mistake, you might die by my hands. Daedok rushes forward, furious that their savior would dare threaten the cult leader. But the leader calmly holds up a hand. It is fine. I will deal with this. He then makes a proposal. If Jian wins, he'll hand over the cult leader position to him. While Daedok panics, the cult leader continues his offer. He warns Jian what will happen if he loses. But Jian is not interested in a deal. He just wants to go back home. Suddenly, he stops mid-sentence, his eyes widening in shock. Jian is hit with a tremendous sense of danger, a pressure unlike anything he has ever felt. He tells himself to calm down. After all, he is just fighting some senile old man. As the #1 hitman, the Ghost of Fighting, he is not about to lose. Sa Hyung-young asks if he is ready. Ready? I was born ready. Especially against you, Grandpa, Jian scoffs. Jian offers him the first punch, and the leader accepts the offer. In an instant, he leaps and disappears. Jian's eyes go wide, clearly not expecting this level of speed. Before Jian could even react, the old man spins and lands a devastating kick to the gut. The impact sends Jian flying helplessly through the air, and he smashes against a rock wall. Blood flies from his mouth as he reels from the single blow. Say Yong-young looks down, disappointed. You couldn't even avoid such a basic attack. Young man, are you really our savior? He asks, calling him pathetic and not even a worthy opponent. But hold up, Grandpa. Backup has arrived. Mongu is furiously ripping through his pants. Horrified, Jian yells for Mongu to run. Don't touch Mongu or else, he growls. But it's too late. Mongu is kicked to the gutter. The cult leader orders his men to lock Jian in prison and feed the beast to the wolves. Wrong move, buddy. Jian roars. He is not a beast. He is my family. Kneeling over his dog, Jion's voice drops to a deadly whisper. I warned you. I would kill you if you touched Mongu. Jian rises. You think you're the strongest here, he growls. But do you want to know who the strongest person in the world is? Someone with a lot of money? Daedok offers. Jian continues his questions, asking if it is someone with physical strength, or maybe a knife. Wrong. It is none of the above. Remember this, Jian says. The strongest person in the world is the one with a gun in his hands. And bang, the cult leader looks confused. Huh? What's that thing? Then, boom, a bullet hole appears in the center of his forehead. Before Daedok even knows what's happening, the cult leader is down. He crashes to the ground, dead as a doornail. RIP cult leader, you will be missed. Daedok is completely speechless. He stammers at first, then finally gets his bearings and screams. Attack. The entire Blood Death cult charges forward, screaming for vengeance. But Jian is completely unfazed. Yes, that's it. All of you come at me, he mutters. Because our badass MC just pulled out a second pistol. And just like that, he unleashes a thunderous barrage of gunfire, the deafening sound ripping through. Bullets tear through the air like guided missiles, finding their marks with absolutely deadly precision. He mutters, you chose the wrong opponent. One by one, cultists drop like flies, victims of his brutal god-tier efficiency. Headshot after headshot. It is a symphony of pure violence, orchestrated by a single terrifying man. A spent casing flies, another life extinguished with a cold, metallic click. The massacre continues unabated, bodies piling up as the cult's numbers dwindle into oblivion. Daedok, the first elder, watches in sheer pants-wetting terror. Someone stop him. He screams, begging his dwindling men to attack as one. Suddenly, the scene flashes back. A man pleads, it is our loss. I will apologize for everything. Just stop. Gon, ever the intimidating one, asks the battered man if he knows the moral code he lives by. Benignity and moderation, the punch connects with bone-shattering force, knocking the man out cold. Our ruthless main character stands triumphantly over the fallen, his demonic back tattoo on full display, finishing his chilling creed, vengeance in full. This, folks, is Kim Gon, 18 years old, the ghost of fighting. An absolute legend with an undefeated record of 282 wins. A large, imposing man saunters up to the young Gon. Hey kid, he says. You think you are the strongest here now, right? However, the man continues. Do you know who the strongest person you can never win against is? Young Gon scoffs, calling it nonsense. Look here, mister. Do I look like a pushover to you? Tell me who it is. Bring him to me. The man slowly, deliberately pulls out a pistol. No matter how strong your punch is or how fast you are, you can never win against a gun. Oh no, he was just shot in the leg. Now on the ground, bleeding from a gunshot wound, Gon demands, why are you doing this to me? The man calmly replies, the reason I approached you was to make you an offer. Gon yells at him, but the man just smiles. You are overreacting. I shot you rather gently. That's a wild thing to say considering the blood loss actually. But isn't it fascinating? He asks, pointing the gun straight at Gon's head. Life or death will be decided by a single finger. Gon asks, what do you want? But the man's offer is chillingly simple. You work for me. I will make you the strongest person. Back in Murim, Gon points his own gun at a cowering Daedok. Do you get it now? He asks, his voice like ice. Who the strongest person here is? Daedok breaks down. Yes, sir, of course. I will give you whatever you want, so please spare my life. Sometime later, Daedok, ever the bootlicker, asks the new leader, how is it? Is that seat comfortable? We see Gon now rocking full cult robes, chilling on the throne. And right beside him, in a move no one saw coming, is his adorable pug, Mongu, who has been officially named the Blood Death cult's vice leader. You heard that right. Suddenly, Daedok yelps in pain as Gon, clearly annoyed, flicks his ear. Ears clogged, or what? Gon shouts, his voice seething with fury. When did I tell you to put me in this position? All I want is to return to my world. He has a major score to settle after all. I have to kill the guy who put a hole in my head. Daedok finally breaks the utterly devastating news. The truth is, we do not know how to send you back. Gon's response is eerily, terrifyingly calm. Ah, I see, you do not know, you should have told me so earlier. Then he presses his pistol directly to Daedok's temple. Then I would have helped you reunite with the former cult leader. Daedok immediately positions himself on the floor, a pathetic mess, begging for his life. Please give me a few days. I will look for a way to send you back. Gon lets out a heavy sigh, pinching the bridge of his nose. He relents, but you know he is still probably considering just ending him right there. He slumps back into the throne, a picture of defeat. What a messed up situation, he mutters. My phone is dead and I feel like I might just go insane. Suddenly, miraculously, that dead phone pings to life. He stares at the screen in utter disbelief. It is a spam message promising a chance to take over the entire Murim world. Then it hits him with a jolt. I received this just before my death. He frantically tries to send a message back, but it just will not go through. And then a new text appears. Surprise, the text bubbles. I will explain everything. You are currently in a dimension called Murim. It says, you have to complete a mission to return back to Earth. You might have already expected it, but the mission is, drumroll please. The mission is crystal clear and it is a massive one, conquer Murim. The mysterious messenger then adds a little terrifying note that made Gon clench his fist. Failed to complete this mission within 1 year and there is a penalty. And that penalty? The death of his adorable dog, Mongu. The message taunts him, saying they cannot let the cutie die. Gon grabs his head in utter disbelief and volcanic rage as the text wishes him good luck. Gon lets out a furious, earth-shattering roar from the throne room, screaming the name of the sender, Kim Mi-young. He storms through the halls, demanding to know where Balbi is. Meanwhile, Daedok is trying to sneak away, muttering to himself that he has no clue how to send the guy back and desperately needs to escape this whole mess. Suddenly, Gon appears right behind him. Going somewhere, he asks, as Daedok lets out a blood-curdling scream. Daedok immediately starts stammering, making up a pathetic, flimsy lie about talking to his son and packing a bag to go search for a way to send Gon home. He pleads for his life, practically kissing Gon's feet, begging the cult leader to spare him. Daedok, ever the opportunist, warns him that even a ruthless man like him will face a painful death if he keeps killing, which actually seems to make Gon pause and think. But Gon's patience evaporates. He yells, "Shut up and listen to me, you bald grandpa." After finally calming down, Gon talks to Daedok with a serious, intense expression. "Let us do it," he says. "The thing you mentioned." Daedok is utterly confused, so Gon makes it crystal clear. "Let us conquer Murim." Daedok is instantly overcome with joy, tears streaming down his face as he praises his savior and cult leader, promising to go and prepare everything. But Gon stops him cold. He has one crucial condition. Soon after, Daedok stands before the entire cult, brimming with importance, ready to convey a brand new order from their supreme leader. He dramatically unfurls a scroll revealing a picture of Mongu's adorable, smiling face. Daedok declares that the Blood Death cult is no more. From now on, they are officially the Mongu cult. Instantly, the entire crowd erupts into a thunderous, unified chant, fists pumping enthusiastically in the air. Mongu cult, Mongu cult. But wait. One man weeps in sheer despair, thinking it is absolutely absurd to name a Murim faction after a dog and just wanting to run far, far away. He laments the cult being named after that beast, only to look up and see Mongu himself perched on a pedestal, giving him a cute little wink. The man's despair instantly vanishes, replaced by adoration. "I love you, Kim Mongu." A fellow cultist screams. The cultist now offers himself completely to his new lord, Kim Mongu. And so the countdown officially begins. 364 days until the Mongu cult's total conquest of Murim is complete. And just like that, word travels faster than a Murim master on a sugar rush. The demonic cult has a new boss, and they've officially rebranded from Blood Death to the Mongu cult. This wild news reaches Gugi Guang, the leader of the Kunlun sect, a wise old master, who senses a seismic shift brewing in that struggling cult. He immediately asks his subordinate for intel. The report? Their new leader uses some seriously strange demonic art. Guiguang leans in, completely captivated. A strange demonic art, you say? The subordinate spills the juicy rumor for each of the new leader's movements. One person dies. What a terrifying ability. Guiguang wonders, what kind of god-tier movement could be so lethal? The mind-blowing answer? A simple finger flick. Apparently, he moved a single finger. To demonstrate, the subordinate raises his middle finger. Talk about an unexpected visual. The old leader breaks out in a sweat, utterly bewildered. He asks if he's sure it was that exact finger. The subordinate can only shrug. He was just guessing. Meanwhile, back at the newly dubbed Mongu cult, things are about to get seriously intense. Deng Guang, the hot-headed former fifth elder, is absolutely steaming. He cannot believe they declared a new leader without the elder's sacred approval. But to Chiel Ho, the level-headed former second elder, calmly reminds him of their unbreakable doctrine. The strongest person always gets the top spot. Deng Guang slams the table, yelling that he was against summoning any so-called saviors from the very start. Chiel Ho sternly warns him to watch his words. Suddenly, a booming voice cuts through the tension. "I'm disappointed too," startling Deng Guang. It's Yupe, the dramatic former fourth elder. He complains about all the sacrifices he's poured into the cult. What a diva. Chiel Ho cuts him off, straight to the point. If they have complaints, they need to prove their right to speak by demonstrating their strength. But he gives them a stark, chilling reminder their new leader has already annihilated the previous one. He warns them, if they challenge Gon out of pure emotion, they'll be signing their own death warrants. The heavy warning hangs in the air, thick with tension, as the dissenting elders turn heads to see the visitor. Right on cue, Daedok dramatically cuts in, presenting the man himself, the one, the only cult leader Kim Gon. Instantly, all the elders drop into a deep bow, shouting their greetings to the intimidating new leader. What a spectacle. But wait, Yukpei spots something peeking out from behind Gon's leg. It's Mongu. The adorable pug is here. The big, tough elder immediately melts into a puddle, fawning over how tiny and precious the dog is. He's completely charmed. He leans down to coo at Mongu, but Gon's face immediately hardens, a dark storm brewing. Hey, you, Gon calls out to Yukpei, his voice like ice. The elder looks up. Wham! Without another syllable, Gon smashes his fist right into Yukpei's face, sending him flying across the room. Yukpei clutches his face as Gon stares down with a terrifying gaze. Don't you dare open that mouth of yours in my presence. Got it? He's an absolute boss. When Yukpei stays silent, Gon gets heated, asking if he's being defiant. The elder quickly apologizes, but Gon just snaps, I told you to keep that mouth shut. Dadak nervously steps in, getting things back on track and officially starting the council meeting. Someone save him. Gon, meanwhile, has made himself right at home, kicking his feet up on the table like he owns the entire Murim. Bro is paying 0 rent but is acting like the landlord. He cuts straight to the chase. We're starting our conquest of Murim. Dongguang gets intrigued, but then comes the absolutely brutal catch that shocks Dongguang right to his core. If we don't succeed in conquering Murim within 1 year, everyone shall commit suicide. What the heck, bruh? He leans back, observing their horrified faces. Nobody wants to die, right? This man is cold. Then starts spitting out ways to conquer Murim in 1 year. He means business, folks. Chiyoho feels a desperate need to speak up, raising his hand. Cult leader, may I speak my honest thoughts? This could be risky. He stands, declaring with absolute conviction, it's impossible to conquer Murim within 1 year. What a bold move. Gon immediately shuts him down. No hesitation. No, I have the feeling that you're a T. A T? What even is that? He correctly guesses Chiyoho was about to say it's impossible, then points and calls him a thinking type fellow. Bro is wild with his classifications. The elder stares as a single long bead of sweat trickles on his face. That's the absolute last straw for Dongguang. He slams his fist on the table, roaring that he's had enough of this nonsense. This is all bull, he bravely comments as he turns on Dadak, blaming him for making Gon the leader without consent, but the first elder just whimpers that it wasn't his plan. Poor Dadak. Finally, Dongguang directly confronts Gon. You might have won against the previous cult leader, but I cannot accept this. Here we go. The tension is brewing. If you want us to acknowledge you, then have a fight with me for the position as cult leader. Dongguang just went full Murim mode. Gon just cracks a chilling grin. This is ridiculous. You guys summoned me here. All right, but are you sure you can live with the consequences? He thinks to himself that this guy probably has some weird Murim powers too. Gon is low on ammo and wanted to save it, but he decides this is totally worth it and dramatically pulls out his pistol. Oh snap, stakes upgraded. Seeing Gon lower his head, Dongguang completely misreads the room. He smirks, thinking Gon is scared now that he's facing a real Murim fight. Dadak sees exactly what's about to happen and desperately tries to warn Dongguang to back down. Bro clocked the bad ending early. Dongguang says, hey, a smug grin plastered on his face, taunting him. Scared? The sheer audacity of the question leaves Dadak and Gon completely speechless. You know it's bad when even Mongu is stunned. But Dongguang is on a roll, calling Gon a chicken and a coward, asking if he's so scared he's wetting himself. This man has no self-preservation. And that's it. Gon's expression goes dead serious. He raises his pistol and flatly says, just perish. He squeezes the trigger, but instead of a booming gunshot, the gun turns into a phone. What is going on? Gon's standing there low-key confused, brain buffering. Dongguang keeps running his mouth, calling Gon a wimp for not attacking him. He's totally missing the big picture. Ignoring the mishap, Gon stands up. You wanted to fight, didn't you? He asks calmly. Stepping forward, he looks Dongguang dead in the eye. All right, let's do it. Game on. But as Dongguang starts to sweat, Gon leans in with a terrifying grin. However, under one condition. Uh-oh, here it comes. He says a normal duel would be boring for such high stakes. The sheer killing intent radiating from him leaves Dongguang absolutely speechless. As Dongguang finally realizes what he's gotten himself into, a monstrous fiery aura manifests behind Gon. You scared? This is going to be an epic battle. The cult members buzz on the sidelines, whispering about their new leader's big duel against the fifth elder. Everyone's got an opinion, of course. One guy starts spilling the tea on Dongguang. Most folks think he muscled his way to elder status through pure strength. But apparently that's not the full story. A flashback kicks in, revealing his true power. An opponent screams, just die already, as he wailed on Dongguang. Dongguang just shrugged off the hits. He casually told the guy it felt like an insect landing on him. He asked for more. His whole strategy is simple, just outlast his opponent until they collapse from sheer exhaustion. His tenacity is legendary. They say he can even withstand a tiger's attack. Talk about high HP. Because of this, he earned the nickname Sturdy Fortress. But the first cultist shakes his head. You two still don't get it. Suddenly, a panicked, sweating man interrupts. You know nothing about our cult leader's terrifying might. I was there. I saw it firsthand. He starts his own flashback. One peaceful day, the old cult leader was dead. Just like that. And that's when the real fight started. Whenever their new leader moved, cultists dropped like flies, as if struck by lightning, one after another. He killed them all mercilessly, not even sparing a frail old man. Our boy Gon does not mess around. The witness remembers a nickname forming in his mind. He watched Gon fire his pistol with chilling precision. Even a demon would have frozen in fear, so he is the demon of terror. The other cultists are utterly shocked. An announcer cuts them off, yelling for quiet. The cult leader and fifth elder are entering the arena. He declares the duel of the century is about to begin. The sturdy fortress versus the demon of terror. What a matchup. Dongguan cracks his knuckles. Are you ready? Ready to take a beating? He asks, all bravado. Gon just scoffs internally. This is so ridiculous. Everyone runs their mouth at first, until the first shot, that is. A chilling thought from our hero. The duel officially commences. Gon wastes no time. You're a steroid druggie, aren't ya? He mocks Dongguan. The announcer quickly explains the rules. The duel, as requested by the cult leader, will be a one-punch style match. The rules are simple. They take turns attacking. The last one standing wins the game. However, the announcer adds ominously, the winner of this duel gets to decide if the loser lives or dies. He moves to let Gon decide who goes first, but Dongguan interrupts. No, did you forget my nickname? It's Sturdy Fortress. I'll gladly give up the first strike. Dude's overconfident, huh? Gon just thinks he's a crazy dude, but accepts. Alright then, since you so kindly gave me the first attack, I'm aiming for your chest. Dongguan grins. He thinks Gon will regret giving away his target. He tenses his entire body, muscles bulging. He braces for the impact. Come at me with all you've got, he roars, crossing his arms over his chest, a classic tanking stance. A loud gunshot echoes through the arena, but the bullet doesn't hit Dongguan's chest, it hits his leg. The crowd is stunned into complete silence. Did that really just happen? Confusion ripples through the arena. Gon just stands there, his gun smoking. What? He asks, like he did nothing wrong. An onlooker thinks it was just a loud bang. Then Dongguan lets out a blood-curdling scream. It hurts so much. The onlookers are speechless as he keeps screaming. You said you'd aim for my chest, he yells, furious. Gon just looks down at him with a slight smile. I lied. A true chaotic evil move, my friends. Dongguan stares back, his face twisted into a mask of outraged shock. You absolute trickster. He curses himself for being so embarrassed. His leg screams in protest as he struggles to stand. But he forces himself calm. It's my turn now. And I still have one unharmed leg. What a tank. He manages to get to his feet facing Gon. Prepare yourself. My punch is no joke. He explains that people say his punch feels like being ripped apart by a tiger. Scary stuff. So, he named the technique accordingly. Behold, the fist of the tiger. He goes full rage mode and lunges, but Gon was like absolutely not and shoots his other leg. The audience is collectively losing it in the worst way. Gon, however, just stands there, bored. His gun still smoking. Seriously? What's with those expressions, he asks. The announcer rushes over. Cult leader? In a one-punch duel, you have to take turns. It's your turn to be attacked now. But Gon just stares him down. Says who? Is that rule written in the Korean Constitution or something? He retorts. He presses the terrified elder, demanding to know the exact article and paragraph of this supposed rule. Data can only watch in awe. He realizes Gon has the power to terrify even a demon. Dongguan struggles to his feet, his legs refusing to cooperate, just as Gon starts to speak. They say you can survive a tiger's den if you keep your wits about you, he begins. But actually that's not true. To come out of a tiger's den alive, you need a gun. The ultimate truth bomb. Dongguan immediately breaks. He begs for his life, admitting his immaturity. But Gon's response is simple and cold, goodbye. He pulls the trigger. A loud bang echoes through the courtyard. This is it. But wait. It was just a bluff. Gon laughs, mocking the terrified elder's expression. The face is pure comedy. Nostrils flaring, eyes tightly shut, absolutely unserious. Dongguan slowly cracks open an eye. He realizes he's still alive. The confusion is real. Gon turns his back on him. You owe me your life now, he warns. Don't ever act out again. The elder is utterly bewildered. He feels wronged, but at the same time, he doesn't. A bizarre realization dawns on him. Could this be brotherly friendship? What a twist. Meanwhile, Gon is sweating bullets. Turns out he was completely out of ammo and bluffing for his life. Epic gamble, but his gamble paid off. Bingo, he thinks, probably ready for some loot. Just then, his phone lights up. A mission completed notification pops up for winning the duel. And since he won without killing the elder, he gets 2 new magazines plus a random bonus reward. Sweet loot. Confused, Gon turns to Daedok. He asks if there are only 4 elders in the cult. Daedalus clarifies there are 5, but the third elder is currently absent, he says. And by absent, he means busy single-handedly slaughtering an entire enemy compound. What a way to be absent. She lands with devastating force. The very ground cracks beneath her. Talk about impact. An attendant gives her a cloth to wipe the blood from her face. Seriously, she sighs, I'm working my butt off to revive our cult. Still, the news about someone defeating both the old leader and the 5th elder piques her interest. I'm looking forward to meeting him, she says. She tells her subordinates to get ready to leave. It's time to meet their new cult leader. This is Jin Hworin, the former Blood Death cult 3rd elder, raid boss on the CV with a main character face card. Gon is groggily waking up only to find his pug, Mongu, growling and demanding breakfast. But before Gon can even process what's happening, a ridiculously boisterous face leans in, yelling, "Good morning, cult leader." Without even thinking, Gon's fist flies out on pure reflex, decking the guy right in the face. Talk about a rude awakening. Gon quickly explains it was just reflex. Dongguang sheepishly says he was just standing night guard. Despite the fresh bloody nose, Dongguang maintains this creepy, unwavering smile. Gon is understandably unnerved. He tells him to get out, declaring, "I feel most threatened by you." As a dejected Dongguang slinks away, the 1st elder Daedalus arrives on the scene, looking incredibly nervous. Gon asks what he wants, and Daedalus reminds him that Gon himself had summoned him for the morning meeting. Gon remembers his own summons and tells Daedalus to gather the elders. He has some serious questions for them. A bit later, in the main hall, Gon sits on the throne and gets straight to the point. He asks them plainly, why exactly is he their savior? And what's this whole deal about conquering Murim? The 2nd elder, Yahello, stands up to bravely explain. Here comes the exposition dump. He begins by detailing the Murim alliance. They are a coalition of orthodox sects who always had beef with the Blood Death cult. Apparently, the alliance was just super jealous because the cult was thriving, all while holding completely different values. This jealousy spiraled into a full-blown massacre. The alliance mercilessly slaughtered everyone, even women and children. Completely outnumbered, the cult was ultimately defeated and became a target for basically everyone in Murim. Gon clarifies, so you are neither a part of the orthodox nor unorthodox sects. He is trying to understand the lore. Yahello confirms they always followed their own beliefs and lived peacefully, until, things went spectacularly south. Now they want to unite the hellish world of Murim under their savior Gon to finally bring peace. No pressure, Gon. Just as Yahello starts explaining how uniting Murim in a year is completely impossible, Gon just cuts him off. Gon looks utterly baffled. Why should I care about this cult's peace? I am not some Power Ranger. He really is not feeling the savior vibe. He scoffs at the whole idea, then gets back to his core question, why am I your savior? Why me, specifically? Daedalus nervously admits the truth. They did not actually know who would be summoned. Gon is left absolutely speechless. Daedalus then begins to recount what happened on the infamous day of the attack. Flashback time. In the flashback, the cult is burning and its people are being slaughtered. Daedalus is on his knees begging a warrior to stop the carnage. He pleads that he is just a lowly servant. But then the man busts his bluff, pointing out Daedalus' very fancy clothes. The warrior tells Daedalus he cannot disguise his cursed bald head, as a hooded figure stands right next to the warrior. Who is this new NPC? Before the warrior can even react, the hooded man kills him in a seriously gruesome fashion. Daedalus shrieks in horror at the disgusting sight, immediately pivoting to begging this new terrifying person for his own life. Bro folded in 0.2 seconds. The hooded figure completely ignores Daedalus' pleas and simply drops a scroll on the ground. The plot thickens. He delivers a cryptic prophecy. A savior will appear at a specific time and place to unite Murim, and they absolutely must welcome him. As the mysterious figure walks away, a very confused Daedalus shouts after him, demanding to know what he means. Back in the present, Gon asks if they know who this mysterious man was. Daedalus, of course, says no. But Daedalus says there was one thing he saw clearly, one distinct feature. The mysterious prophet was bald, just like Daedalus himself, another baldy. Gon puts a hand to his chin, thoughtfully considering this bizarre clue. From one baldy to another, he muses. Is this a bald-verse situation? So, a mysterious bald dude sent Gon to this world, but his true goal remains completely unknown. Suddenly, a battered cultist bursts into the meeting hall, urgently warning them of trouble. Gon steps outside to a grim, shocking scene. What is this? He asks. The entire courtyard is littered with the beaten, unconscious bodies of his men. Looks like someone brought a raiding party. Atop the stairs stands a new challenger. He casually apologizes for knocking out Gon's underlings. Right, this is Jun Gopung, the Ghost Sword sect's leader. Gon asks the man Gopung why he is storming their base with an entire army. Turns out, he's been waiting for an opportunity to take over the Blood Death cult. Bro was plotting in 4K this whole time. Hearing that a nameless outsider killed the old leader was a chance he just could not ignore. He is coming for that loot. His sword glows with a sinister aura as he calls Gon and the cult tempting prey. Gon is utterly unimpressed. "Are you giving a presentation or what?" he asks. "You are here to claim an empty house. Is that it?" Gopung laughs, acknowledging Gon is smarter than he looks, and asks what his plan is now. Gon just crosses his arms, calmly calling his opponent foolish. Zero emotions, maximum insult. But before Gopung can even act, his hulking number 2 steps forward. He offers to take care of Gon himself. This is Jung Gan-ung, the Ghost Sword Sect's hulking number 2. Gon looks genuinely nervous. "Do not tell me you plan to split my head with that axe," he mutters. "Why are you stating the obvious?" Gonung roars. "I will make it quick." The giant warrior dashes forward with absolutely surprising speed. Gon flinches, realizing in a panic that he does not have his trump card. "Wait, my gun? Oh no. Did he forget his main weapon at his spawn point?" The massive glowing axe swings down towards an unarmed Gon. That attack never reached its target. So who took it instead? Yukpei, one of the elders, is catching the massive blade with his bare arms. Though he is bleeding, Yukpei scoffs, claiming an attack like this will not even leave a scratch. And Dongguang, fresh from his bloody nose incident, agrees that threatening their leader is a heinous crime. With a fiery aura, Dongguang prepares to fight back for the honor of the Mongu cult. Redemption arc starts now. Dongguang, his hair flaring up like a crimson inferno, unleashes a furious counterattack. His fist collides with the giant, creating a massive explosion of force that rocks the entire courtyard. The blast wave rips through the air, sending debris flying and forcing both fighters back. With bloodied knuckles and a look of pure fury, Dongguang declares this debt must be paid in full with his opponent's life. Watching from the sidelines, Gon is genuinely impressed. He admits to himself that Dongguang is even stronger than he had expected. He also notes that Yukpei, the guy who blocked the first attack, is actually pretty useful. Maybe conquering Murim is not so impossible after all. He is starting to see the stats. The invading leader Gopung scoffs. "So you chose the foolish way," he taunts. His face twists into a sadistic grin. "Watch carefully, as your decision leads to the ultimate fall of your cult," he declares. Oh look, the villain TED Talk. Gon just cracks his knuckles, looking utterly bored. "Seriously, why are you so chatty?" he asks. "I will tell you once, so listen carefully. I do not send someone who is looking for a fight back," Gon states. "Nor do I let them live either." The two leaders lock eyes from across the courtyard, a silent declaration of war passing between them. The final boss battle is imminent. Gon gives a single, chilling command. "Annihilate them. This is it." And with that, the Mongu cult charges. They slam headfirst into the enemy ranks as an all-out war erupts. Time to clock in. The battle rages. As Gon takes in Dongguang's power, he thinks, yeah, this dude could be useful. But then he spots Yukpei dramatically tumbling down a flight of stairs. Gon's internal monologue? Maybe not that one though. Meanwhile, Dongguang lands with a ground-shattering boom, a wild-eyed berserker ready for more. With a crazed grin, he roars, "I've been stuck inside too long. Come on, hit me." At that challenge, a whole wave of Ghost Sword Sect members charges in, swords drawn. Dongguang meets them head-on, weaving through their attacks like a human-shaped blender. He barrels through the crowd, punching one poor dude square in the face. Attackers swarm, but Dongguang is a whirlwind of destruction, sending them flying like ragdolls. One guy lunges, screaming die, as he thrusts his sword. But Dongguang, being Dongguang, just casually catches the sharp blade between his bare palms. The attacker, completely oblivious, proudly declares, "This sword was given to me by my father. It's an heirloom." Dongguang just gives him a psychotic grin and snaps the precious heirloom sword in half. Oof! The man is stunned. Tears stream down his face. Poor guy. R.I.P. family sword. Without missing a beat, Dongguang grabs him and slams him headfirst into the stone floor, completely shattering it. Brutal. Dongguang scoffs at their laughable skills and readies for round 2. This guy loves a good fight. Injured Yukpei tells Dongguang, "Don't worry, brother, I've got your back," despite bleeding himself. "Seriously, bruh?" Another warrior charges in, his sword glowing with purple energy, yelling, "Let's see if you can take this." The man suddenly stops mid-swing, utterly confused. What just happened? It's because Yukpei is loudly boasting. "Didn't I tell you, you can't even scratch me with those weak attacks?" He's bleeding again and somehow still clueless. Yukpei has absolutely had enough. He winds up and punches the attacker square in the face. "Get a grip, bro." But the attacker is surprised, in a pleasant way. "Wait, that felt good?" Turns out Yukpei's special trait is massage hands with 0 attack power. As he asks if the guy wants more, the attacker begs for a full-course massage. Seriously? Gon just watches this whole ridiculous scene with a look of disgust. "We feel you, Gon." Having seen enough, Gon turns his back to walk away. Of course, 2 Ghost Sword members see an opening and decide to attack. They actually think he used tricks. They're convinced they can kill him easily. "Oh, sweet summer children." Gon calls out, "Hey," and one of the guys asks, "What?" Before the man can react, Gon's hand flashes out, grabbing his head. You're looking in the wrong direction. Yikes. With a sickening crack, Gon snaps his neck, just like that. Disturbing is an understatement. The second attacker freezes. Understandable. But Gon is already on him, driving a blade deep into his throat. No hesitation. Well, that's one way to end it. As the man chokes out his last breath, Gon calmly walks past his collapsing body. Seriously, this guy is cold. Facing the remaining forces, Gon looks utterly bored. Seriously, these clowns, he mutters. He pulls out a karambit. Do I look like an easy opponent? He challenges. He explodes into motion, a blur of deadly strikes that cuts down his opponents in an instant, like a boss. Gon leaps from above, and his opponent meets his strike. The impact of Gon's blade on blade is so powerful it shatters the ground and splits the attacker's skull. Doing the most, as usual. Standing over the carnage, Gon offers some posthumous advice. Know your opponent, words to live by or die by, apparently. Nearby, Dongguang surveys the field of dead bodies, thinking the battle is finally winding down. Suddenly, a massive blast of purple energy slams down from the sky, courtesy of Gong Gopung. He's still here. The Ghost Sword sect leader lands, blade glowing ominously. Dongguang yells. For a sect leader, that was a petty surprise attack, but as he speaks, Dongguang suddenly freezes, a look of total confusion on his face. What's up now? Gopung reveals his trump card. The blade was coated in a special poison, one designed specifically to take down a former cult leader. Oh snap. He raises his poisoned sword, screaming, I'll send you to the side of your former cult leader. Despite the poison, Dongguang grits his teeth and charges forward to meet the attack head-on. He's built different for real. He blocks the glowing blade with his bare fist, but the explosion sends him flying backward. Ouch. The aura said main character, the physics said nope. Struggling to his knees, he realizes the poison is stopping his inner arts. He can't even punch properly. Gon watches the scene unfold, his expression grim. Uh-oh. I don't have a good feeling about this, he thinks. Where's my gun at a time like this? Right on cue, his pug Mongu trots up, proudly carrying Gon's pistol in his mouth. Our Mongu Gon coos. You found your dad's gun? Good boy. Gon takes the gun, thinking it's pretty hard to win against these guys without one. A logical conclusion. He knows his bullets are limited, but concludes, I can't let such a threat live. He takes aim. It's go time. Suddenly, he hears a voice and turns his head. What now? It's Gopung, standing triumphantly over Dongguang, laughing about the fall of the Blood Death cult. With a sinister smile, he declares, now the Blood Death cult, the Mongu cult, will belong to me. Really? Not so fast, buddy. Just as Gopung declares victory, he's violently yanked by a chain. What is this surprise entrance? A mysterious woman descends from the sky. She chokes the life out of Gopung. He gags, begging to be released, but it's no use. She stands calmly amidst the carnage, a true queen. She apologizes for her late arrival, saying she wanted to pay her respects sooner. Fashionably late, I guess. She introduces herself as Jin Huoran, captain of the Iron Blood Squad and the third elder. Bow down, peasants. Gon watches her, thinking she looks way more competent than those other goofy elders. High praise from Gon, but he's curious just how skilled she really is. His hand tightens on his blade, ready to find out. A true martial arts greeting. Turns out, she had the exact same idea. Huoran explodes forward, launching a surprise attack to test the man who defeated their former leader. Let the games begin. Jin Huoran, captain of the Iron Blood Squad, lunges in a blur, ready to prove why she's the real deal. She just wanted to give him a little scare, but Gon dodges in a split second. Oops, not so easy. Looks like his win wasn't a fluke. She's not impressed yet, though, pulling out a sharp dagger for round 2. Gon warns her, I wouldn't do that. I'm not generous enough for 2 free hits. And bam, he reveals his infamous pistol. Yeah, that pistol. Huoran scoffs. That little thing? No way it beat the old leader. She moves in, ready to call his bluff. But then a strange, chilling hesitation washes over her. What's going on? One more step, and she knows she'll die. Her mind's eye shows her engulfed in a raging inferno. A monstrous, fiery demon face looms in the flames. A terrifying pressure promises certain death. The vision ends with Gon, eyes glowing red, pointing the gun at her. This is your end, he whispers, while also holding his knife with a firm grasp. Huoran snaps out of it, sweating, breathless. Gon's raw, killing intent completely halted her attack. Daeduk watches in terror as Huoran lowers her weapon. Now she gets it. This is how he won. She explains, only the strongest lead the cult. I just had to confirm your qualifications. She offers a formal salute, apologizing for her disrespect. Yeah, right. Gon is just bewildered. The hell, he thinks, is she some crazy lady? Meanwhile, Jun Ganong, who got yeeted into a wall by Dongguang, picks himself up. He flexes his massive arm. I won't give up that easily, he declares. He starts screaming threats. Our leader, the cruel sword, will slaughter you all, he boasts. Talking big for someone who just realized the room is a crime scene, he scoffs, muttering, "Told you that was a bad idea, bro." Their spectral leader, Gopung, watches in disbelief as his forces are utterly defeated. Later, back in his lavish room, Gon reflects on his busy day. He knows this year will be full of dangers. He's facing dudes who can punch people through walls or split the earth with a single sword stroke. If this is just the warm-up, he might be next. A chilling image of his own bloody death flashes in his mind. Shaking off the dark thoughts, Gon pats Mongu. He needs a plan. He calls out, "Yo, Baldy, you there?" and barges into Dadok's room. Dadok greets him with a nervous smile, inwardly panicking. What does the leader want now? Gon gets straight to the point. He needs intel on potential enemies and future allies. Dadok is stunned. A normal question? For once, he thinks, then suggests visiting the Hao clan. He explains the Hao clan. They're low-class folks, porters, courtesans who gather intel from everywhere. They're information brokers, using a vast network, even rats, to gather and sell intel. Seriously, rats? Gon understands, asking for their location. He's pulling up personally. Dadok's jaw drops. The cult leader in person, he sputters, shocked. Gon confirms he wants intel firsthand. Dadok reluctantly agrees to find some escorts. Gon has one condition: don't include that crazy third elder woman. But Dadok points out she knows the way best. Suddenly, Dongguang materializes next to Gon, offering to guide him. He instantly decks Dongguang, yelling, "Sheesh, you scared me, dude." Dongguang is knocked out cold. Gon tells a terrified Dadok, don't include him either. Later that night, the escort party travels by carriage through a bustling town. Inside, Gon is furious, sitting in stony silence. Next to him, Dongguang grins from ear to ear. Gon fumes. I definitely told him not to include this guy. Nor her. Jinhuan is also there, dressed up, humming happily. Oh, Gon's day just keeps getting better. Flashback. Dadok asked the elders for escorts to the Hao clan. Both Dongguang and Jinhuan immediately enthusiastically volunteered. Oh, you know where this is going. Dadok looks utterly defeated. Why these two? He silently screams. Huan argues she knows the way best. Plus, she's excited for good food and new clothes. This girl knows her priorities. Dongguang counters, declaring, I must follow the cult leader everywhere. We are one body and mind. Huan scoffs. You've never even been there. Dongguang explodes. How dare a mere woman talk back? The argument escalates. Huan reminding him she's senior. Dongguang just shouts, I'm going, that's final. Huan yells, you don't even know the way, I'll kill you. Dongguang retorts, mind your own business. Dadok is drained. Back in the present, Gon's face is a mask of pure rage. I'll kill Baldy first thing when I get back, he fumes. They arrive at a bustling inn. The proprietor greets them, suggesting they stay for the night. Inside, Dongguang requests rooms and food. Gon chimes in, sundae, gukbap, and soju, please. The attendant happily shows them to their seats. But just as they settle in, they're stopped by a group of burly men, disciples from the Kunlun sect. Great. Their leader, Jok Sang-shian, demands drinks and rooms. They belong to us now, he declares. The innkeeper nervously explains that Gon's party just took the last rooms. Sang-chian turns to Gon, not recognizing him. He rudely tells them to find another inn. We're taking your rooms. But then, his eyes land on Jinhuan. His angry demeanor vanishes. Aggressive aura, gone, replaced by simping. He introduces himself as a first-generation disciple of the great Kunlun sect, sleazy smile included. He tells her to dump these low-class guys. He invites her to spend the evening with him instead. Dongguang is seething, knuckles white. He's furious he can't just beat this dude up thanks to sect rules. Flashback. Chiyo-ho steps between the arguing Dongguang and Huan, shouting, stop right there. He tells them they can both go, but they must keep the mission in mind. No problems, got it? Dongguang forces a strained smile, remembering his orders, avoid causing issues so that everything's kept a secret. Good luck with that. The disciple calms him out. What is that silly face for? Got a complaint, buddy? Before the disciple can even finish, Gon launches a lightning-fast kick straight to him. The disciple crumples to the floor, gasping for air. Gon stands over him, totally impassive. Sang-shian stammers out a threat, trying to sound tough, but terror is clear on his face. Gon's response? A brutal, crushing stomp. The man's face smashes into the floorboards. With a cold glare, Gon dares the other disciples. All right then, call your guys. I'll be waiting right here. He turns to the servers, asking when their food is coming. Seriously? Dongguang, on the other hand, is sweating profusely. The mission has gone completely off the rails. Looking at the bloodied body, he knows they're in deep trouble. We are so doomed, he thinks. Bro is mentally drafting an apology already. Dongguang is sweating hard, completely freaking out. He knows he just failed to stop his cult leader from picking a fight with one of the most powerful sects around. But before Dongguang can even process the absolute mess, Sang-chian's cronies charge in to avenge their buddy. Oh great, here we go again. But bam! In a flash, Jin Huaran moves to intercept them, her blade a silver blur. Time to show these chumps what real power looks like. With a flick of her wrist, she sends a throwing knife flying straight into the first guy's chest, right in the sweet spot. Her second target barely has time to react, yelling, "Hey, you have a knife stuck in your chest." "No kidding, Sherlock." He starts to curse her out for the cowardly move, but doesn't even get to finish the thought. "Big mistake, pal." A powerful hit sends his head snapping back with a brutal, skull-shattering crunch. Ouch, that's gotta leave a mark. Then finishes him with a spinning kick right to the jaw.
Double knockout.
With both attackers down and out, she calmly calls out to her squad. Just another Tuesday for Huaran. Two masked women in red appear instantly. "You called us, Captain. That's a quick service." Pulling the knife from the downed man, Huaran tells them it's time to work. "Clean up on aisle 3, folks." She orders them to feed the men a wandering soul drug to make them forget everything that just happened. A classic memory wipe, like in the movies. Then, they're to dump them in a brothel to cover their tracks. Smooth, very smooth. With the mess efficiently handled, she turns to Gon. "Cult leader, we should have a talk." Uh-oh, Gon's in trouble. Gon reluctantly agrees, probably wondering if she's going to try and jump him again. He's still got that cut, after all. They sit down at a table with Dongguang nervously joining them. Time for the grown-ups to talk. Warren immediately asks, "Cult leader, do you know who those guys were?" Gon, of course, admits he has no idea. Typical. She explains they were from the Kunlun sect, part of the same Murim alliance that totally destroyed their cult in the past. Big yikes. If word gets out about what happened, the past could repeat itself. Nobody wants a repeat of that disaster. She's determined not to lose the cult, her family, a second time. "We love a loyal squad leader." The word families actually catches Gon's attention. Maybe there's a soft spot in there somewhere? Triggering a memory of a cracked picture frame showing a young boy standing alone in front of the Haniel orphanage. Backstory unlocked. Huaran insists they must avoid clashing with the Murim alliance at all costs. "Smart move, Huaran." To everyone's utter surprise, Gon just nods. "Alright, I'll keep that in mind." Is that cooperation? Dongguang is stunned, thinking it's completely out of character for Gon to agree so easily. "We all are, buddy." Gon then asks if the Hao clan is part of the alliance. Huaran confirms they're not. Interesting question, cult leader. She tells Gon that for his own safety, he should head to the Hao clan with Dongguang first. Get him out of the blast radius. Dongguang asks what she'll be doing. She replies she's staying behind to erase any evidence of the fight. Gotta clean up those stats, you know. With a slight smile, she wishes him a safe return before getting back to work. Soon after, Gon and Dongguang set off in a horse-drawn carriage. Road trip. When they finally arrive, Gon stretches with a massive yawn, complaining about how long it took and wishing for a car. Bros foreshadowing the future. They enter a quiet, traditional-looking building. "Anybody here?" Gon casually calls out. An elderly man with white hair bows deeply. "Welcome, how can I help you?" He seems too polite. Gon gives him the code phrase, "Gramps, I heard that you sell some special alcohol here. Password accepted." Without a word, the old man pulls a lever, revealing a secret passage down into the earth. Of course there's a secret passage. He leads them down a long, torchlit staircase into an underground chamber, feeling like we're heading for a dungeon crawl. Kinda creepy. At the bottom, he gestures towards an ornate door. "Please head in there. Wonder what kind of loot is behind this one." Inside, a man greets them. "Welcome. I'm the manager of the Hao Clan Qinghai Province branch, Mengi." Gon sits down, totally unimpressed, as Mengi internally scoffs at the ruined Mongu cult. He's judging them hard. Mengi questions whether it was even the right decision to greet them. Oh, the audacity. He asks what brings them here. Dongguang immediately gets super pissed off, thinking Mengi's tone is kinda disrespectful and is looking down on them. But Gon just casually picks his ear, completely ignoring the man's question. Next level disrespect right there. He's mining for gold while the dude waits for an answer. Mengi smirks, thinking he's an expert at dealing with people like this. "Oh, you say?" He lays on a thick, sarcastic apology, offering to listen if the great Mongu cult leader is uncomfortable with anything. The shade is real. Dongguang's face turns red with rage. Look at this guy. Does he have a death wish, or what? He's about to pop a vein. But instead of getting angry, Gon just starts laughing maniacally, like genuinely unhinged laughter. Mengi roars back with laughter. He totally matched Gon's vibe. Suddenly, his expression turns ice cold. "Then if that's all, I'll be leaving first." Uh-oh, things just got serious. He turns to Dongguang. "You said the Hao clan is unrelated to the Murim alliance, right?" "Yes, that's right, cult leader." "Good. Then, folks, I think we know where this is going." Pointing directly at the smug manager, Gon gives the order. "Get ready for some chaos. Get him, Dongguang. Our boy is unleashed." With a wicked grin and glowing red eyes, Dongguang unleashes his signature move, Fist of the Tiger. His glowing fist slams into Mengi, making him fly across the room. Bro got launched like a human missile. Gon steps calmly through the wreckage. "You must think I'm an idiot because I laughed with you for a bit. but a cult leader has personally come to visit you, so he should be greeted by a person of high rank accordingly. Mic drop. He looks past smug Mangi to the old man who actually brought them in. Don't you think so, real branch manager? The old man stands trembling. Gon calmly tells him to sit down and sort out his back problems. Brutal, but fair. Dongguang is in shock, realizing Gon wasn't just acting on emotion. He knew the old man was the real boss all along. The Chad energy's so strong it's bordering on illegal. The real manager screams in terror, finally understanding the mess he's in. Dude just got played harder than a cheap ukulele. Dongguang just stares blankly, unable to comprehend his cult leader's bizarre genius. Honestly, same. Gon just smiles. Oh, he's not? LOL. Oops. Then his personality type is revealed, ENFP, one who acts quickly based on intuition. So basically, a lovable chaos agent. Meanwhile, back at the Hmong cult's base, a mysterious warrior arrives under the cover of night. New challenger approaches. He demands to know where the new cult leader is right now. Sounds like he's not here for a tea party. A masked subordinate reports that Gon is at the Hao clan, but also spills the tea on the recent incident with the Kunlun sect. Uh-oh, intel leaked. The mysterious leader decides they definitely can't let this slide. Here comes the bad guys. He sends a chilling warning they'll be paying the cult a visit soon, so they should prepare to die. Things are about to get real intense. Meanwhile, Mengi, the Hao clan manager, is totally busted up and swearing revenge on the Mongo cult. But Gon's just over it, man. He tells the dude to sit his butt down so they can actually talk. Mengi starts his whole humble servant spiel about not being worthy, but one more punch threat from Gon, and suddenly he's very worthy. Instant pivot. Mengi slaps on a fake smile, asking what brings an esteemed cult leader to his humble abode. Gon wastes no time, demanding all the intel on sects linked to the Murim alliance. He also needs the deets on any groups willing to lend the Mongu cult some muscle. Mengi gets a little twitchy, wondering if Gon is planning to start a whole war. Gon just gives him the ultimate death glare, asking if he needs to spell it out. Mengi immediately backs down. Mengi explains this high-level intel is pricey, but offers a special 30 silver naings since Gon graced him with his presence. Internally, he's thinking this price should be enough for these crazy clowns. Gon lectures Dongguang that money's useless when you're about to respawn. Dongguang enthusiastically agrees. Mengi starts sweating, realizing he's being hardcore threatened. He quickly drops the price to just 10 naings. Gon points out that having cash won't help if you're living a miserable life with missing limbs. Mengi totally panics, screaming he can't just give this precious intel away for free. Gon agrees he should get something. Mengi immediately perks up, hope renewed. He eagerly asks what he'll get, and Gon totally mocks him, saying he looks like a kid on Christmas Eve. So what's the gift, my friends? Gon, backed by a demonic three-headed Santa, reveals his present is simply letting him live. Mengi's just confused, wondering who the heck Santa Claus is. Gon then tells him not to cry or he'll die. With their fair trade settled, they finally get back to business. Mengi, convinced Gon's worse than the devil, agrees to send the Murim alliance intel. He adds he'll need time to search for potential Mongu cult allies. How long? Mengi asks for 30 days. Gon's demand? 1 week. Our cult leader is running on a speedrun. He pulls out a knife to really emphasize his point, and Mengi has no choice but to agree. Before they wrap up, Gon asks for more intel on the Kunlun sect. Mengi explains they're a remote Taoist sect, super closed off and mysterious, high in snowy mountains. Despite their secrecy, they're part of the powerful 9-6-1 gang because they're a small, elite squad of powerhouses. But here's a weird detail. After the Blood Death Cult War, all their disciples were mysteriously sent down the mountain. Hearing small, elite group, Gon wonders if he should have just, offed the ones he ran into earlier. He asks if Kunlun's higher-ups just don't care about their disciples anymore, and Mengi confirms it looks that way. Gon sees this as a blessing in disguise, telling Mengi to send the rest of the intel to the Mongo cult. But as he's about to peace out, he turns back and asks Mengi, so what are we now? Mengi nervously suggests business partners, but Gon says he's super hurt. Gon says where he comes from, two people become friends after a good old fight. He bonds through blunt force trauma. He puts a hand on Mengi's shoulder, getting real close, and asks again, so what are we, huh? Mengi, remembering this was totally a one-sided beating, says the answer Gon wants: friends. Gon then lays out his definition of a friend, someone who'll willingly sacrifice their life for him, and someone who'll give up their life so he can live his. Mengi is thinking, what kind of nonsense is this? With a creepy smile, Gon pats him on the back and says, anyway, I'll be in your care, my friend. Later, riding back in their carriage, Gon asks if the third elder is still chilling at the inn, which she probably is. Suddenly, the carriage screeches to a halt and the horses start totally freaking out. What's going on? Dongguang is now on freak mode too. A woman in an Iron Blood Squad uniform apologizes, explaining they had to block the road for an emergency. She introduces herself as Yan Nanak, the vice captain, urging the cult leader to return to base immediately for his safety. Meanwhile, back at the inn, Jin Warren asks about some new arrivals who delivered a note. It's a straight-up death threat from a group called the Black Blood Sect. Daeduk tentatively asks if he can give a quick rundown on this new threat. Gon tells him to keep it super short. Daeduk explains the Black Blood Sect is a shadowy organization, famous for being all talk and no substance. They make their money through assassinations, totally ruthless, taking any job as long as they get paid. Gon sits and thinks it over. Daeduk dismisses them as fools, assuring Gon there's nothing to worry about because they already have a plan. That night, back at the Mongu cult's base, a guard spots a shadowy figure approaching the gate. The guard aims his spear, shouting at the intruder to stop, but the figure just keeps walking. Turns out, Daeduk's genius plan was to just tell the guards to punish anyone suspicious immediately. Following orders, the guard charges, screaming at the intruder to stop, only to get instantly knocked out. The mysterious figure, a masked man with glowing red eyes, stands over the unconscious guard. The other guards react, loosing a volley of arrows, but he vanishes in a flash. A guard spots him in the sky, leaping high over the walls. While in the air, he drops a small, dark object down into the compound below. Panic erupts in the Mongu cult's base as guards scramble, trying to find an intruder who just vanished. Inside, Dongguang and Huaran are on high alert. Huaran can tell something is definitely not right. She finds it super odd that an assassin would be bold enough to just walk in through the front door. And sure enough, the intruder calmly walks down the main hall, making a beeline for the throne room. A voice from the throne remarks they expected a whole sect, but are disappointed only one person showed up. Sitting on the throne is Yukpei. He's pretending to be the cult leader, puffing out his chest, asking the assassin's business. The assassin is dripped out in pure black and menace. He just stares, then silently turns to leave. Yukpei freaks out, demanding to know why he came. Suddenly, a voice calls out from behind him, "Hey, it's Kim Gon, the real cult leader." He schools the assassin on a rookie mistake: never let your guard down. He then asks if the assassin knows what he should always do, and just like that, Gon pulls the trigger, blowing the assassin's head clean off. The answer: show mercy to his enemies. The other elders rush in, panicked and yelling for the cult leader. But Daeduk's terror quickly turns to awe. This is a part of their amazing big brain plan. Daeduk mutters the assassin got what he deserved. But Huaran isn't so sure. She notices something weird on the body. She approaches the corpse, with Daeduk warning her to be careful of poison. The squad watches as she tells them it's not that, it's actually a message. The message is from Xianbei, the leader of the Black Blood Sect. He apologizes for not visiting personally. As a gesture of goodwill, he's sending one of his sect's treasures, a necklace, through his most trustworthy subordinate. Back in the present, Huaran holds up the very necklace, which she found on the assassin's body. Everyone is stunned as they learn the final part of the message's instruction. I hope that you'll clean the necklace thoroughly before wearing it. Daeduk's face drains of all color. Did they seriously just kill an innocent person? The room is dead quiet as Huaran raises the gift. It's dawning on everyone what just happened. Gon's eyes are now laser-focused on a very sweaty Daeduk. Oi, Gon asks, this was one of your bright ideas, right? Daeduk is sweating bullets, barely able to stammer out Gon's name because, oh boy, he's in deep. He throws his hands up in a panic. Wait, master, please hear me out. Trying to play it cool, Daeduk explains the Black Blood Sect leader is just a regular troublemaker like them, no biggie. Suddenly, a squad of cult guards bursts in, asking if everything's alright, completely clueless. Seeing Daeduk's sweating face, they laugh in relief, missing the whole point entirely. Gon's expression darkens as he raises his pistol, and Daeduk realizes his life is still hanging by a thread. Later, the elders hold a strategy meeting. Chiyo-ho warns that if this blows up, the Murim alliance will be all over them. He insists it could derail their master plan of total domination. Buzzkill, right? Huaran, being the smart one, suggests they apologize to the Black Blood Sect to clean up this mess. Dongguang slams his hand down, furious. Apologize? Our glorious sect apologizing to nobodies? Huaran fires back. If it happened to our own people, what would you have done? This girl got brains. As things get heated, Daeduk timidly raises his hand. Master, can I please say something? Gon allows it, but the second Daeduk raises his hands, Gon shoves his gun not far from his face. Bro said don't get comfortable. Terror floods Daeduk's face, leaving nothing else behind. Honestly, who could blame him? Gon thinks for a second. This should do. With a twisted grin, he points at a bewildered Daeduk. You'll be in charge. New job unlocked, no consent required. Daeduk is completely stunned. What? How can I be? Gon cuts him off, eyes glowing with red demonic energy. Kneel, cry, beg, do what you want. Just solve it. Left with an impossible task, Daeduk can only think one thing. This jerk. And so Daeduk, along with 2 reluctant escorts, arrives at the imposing Black Blood Sect HQ. A masked warrior greets them while another watches from the rooftops. Talk about a warm welcome. The massive doors creak open, revealing a dark, ominous interior. Super inviting, right? Inside, Daedok gets a bad feeling. Everyone is wearing a creepy mask, giving off major horror movie vibes. A guide says the master is ahead, leading Daedok down a hallway of silent masked guards. No pressure. The door slides open. Someone greets them. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, as the Black Blood sect leader. The leader welcomes Daedok's party, revealing an elaborate feast. Almost too nice, if you ask me. Sometime later, a drunk Daedok rambles about his boss, Gon, letting it all out. He drunkenly snaps at his escort for telling him to tone it down. Poor guy. The sect leader's voice cuts through the haze. So, Master? The man I sent to you, why isn't he back now? Daedok sobers up instantly, stammering a lie about an incident and that they couldn't save him. He confirms the assassin is dead. The masked leader goes silent and Daedok starts to panic, wondering if a quick exit is possible. Suddenly, the leader bursts out laughing. Don't be so sorry, it was just one man anyway. Huh? Sir, that was a person. Daedok nervously agrees, utterly confused by this unexpected kindness. Then, the leader leans in. But more than that, did the necklace I sent him find a place in his heart? Trying to save his skin, Daedok lies through his teeth. Aha! Yes, he likes it very much. He takes it everywhere. The leader's eyes glow red behind his mask as he smiles. Very good. He removes his mask, revealing a scarred, menacing face. Now it's actually better that my man is dead. He explains, my precious subordinate is dead, and you've lost your precious master. We're on equal footing now. The leader reveals his trap. The necklace was the assassin's severed head, containing a colorless, odorless, poisonous candle. He explains that after a day, anyone in the room will be completely paralyzed. Oh my! He grabs a terrified Daedok from behind, grinning with glowing red eyes. Yeah, is Daedok not making it past this scene? Daedok realizes their entire base has been poisoned. He screams, how could you do such a horrible thing? The leader scoffs. What's wrong with a killer using killing herbs? If you're so mad, why don't you die instead? Hold. Defeated, Daedok tries to leave, but the leader stops him. Wait, did I say you could leave? Plot twist. Leaving was never in the script. Daedok smirks nervously. Well, do you have anything else to say? The leader's eyes flash. But I didn't say I'd let you live, did I? Daedok immediately tries to switch sides, yelling, wait, he deserves to die. I'm on your side. He screams at his own escorts, but they're frozen solid with fear. Helpless much? Flashback to Daedok on his knees, begging Gon not to send him alone. I'll only get myself killed. Gon just looks back calmly. Well, yes, but don't worry about that. Daedok is confused. What? Why? Gon smiles, reassuring Daedok he's sending his best bodyguard. But back in the present, Daedok is facing certain death as the Black Blood sect leader aims to hit him hard. Game over? He desperately begs for his life, screaming for the leader to stop. Not a good look, Daedok. Suddenly, the fatal blow is stopped just in time. Who's our hero? I guess things like this don't change anywhere. The savior grumbles, starting a story. I used to get a tip every day from a woman passing by, he continues as he starts removing his mask. Daedok is stunned. How did you get here? The leader demands to know. Ignoring him, the hero steps forward, posing a chilling vibe. Uh-oh. He leans in close, aiming the gun right at the leader's scared face. Because everyone knows, the man trails. It's Kim Gon. Nobody does you a favor without a reason, he says, matter-of-factly. Certified alpha moment. But wait, let's do a flashback first. Earlier, at the Mongu cult's hideout, Cheol-ho knocks on Gon's door. He wants to check out that weird necklace Gon got as a gift. Gon, chilling on the floor in his PJs, is like, sure, take it if you want. But then, a terrifying realization. Mongu, the goodest boy, has been playing with it. Cheol-ho examines the necklace and his suspicions are instantly confirmed. Uh-oh. As Gon showers Mongu with love, Cheol-ho drops the absolute worst news. That gift from the Black Blood sect, it's a poisonous trap, a literal death candle. Gon is utterly stunned. Poison? Oh no. The horrifying truth dawns on him. If Mongu was playing with it, Cheol-ho quickly reassures him. Mongu wasn't exposed long enough to be harmed. Phew. But he adds, if he'd been even a moment later, it would have been game over for the little guy. Threatened Gon's dog. Our boy's eyes turn glowing red. I'm gonna kill those pieces of trash, he fumes. Cheol-ho knows there's no stopping this rage machine, but he warns Gon going alone is a death wish. Instead, he offers a disguise. Smart. In the present, back at the Black Blood sect HQ, Daedok is absolutely thrilled to see his supposed rescuer. But Gon isn't here to save anyone. Get out, he barks coldly. The Black Blood sect leader just laughs, mocking the newcomer. You'll regret this, he cackles. You'll regret not dying early. Gon smiles back. Why are you so happy? He asks, revealing his trusty pistol. Can't you see what I'm holding? The leader is unfazed. Cool weapon, he sneers. But will you even have time to use it? The leader boasts about his deadly secret technique. Apparently no one has survived to describe it. What a flex. This final Rainbringer dude unleashes his ultimate attack, Veil Weave Strike. Sounds fancy. But before he can even move, blood splatters all over his own face. All he can manage is a confused, "A." The leader collapses, a fresh bullet hole in his forehead. "My secret technique is like yours," Gon coolly states, his gun still smoking. Many have seen it, but none have lived to tell the tale. Bro delivered that like a movie trailer voiceover. Just as he finishes that chilling threat, Gon hears more movement. Oh, he is not done yet. A whole squad of masked killers emerges from the shadows, surrounding our hero. Looks like a raid boss fight. Gon's gun and knife are ready. "If you want to die, stay in my range," he warns. You know he is not playing. He dives into the fray, a literal whirlwind of blades and bullets. These assassins don't stand a chance. With those glowing red eyes, he moves with inhuman speed, cutting down enemies one by one. He blocks, parries, and executes with brutal precision. One poor dude gets a point-blank shot to the face. Ouch. Watching the absolute massacre, Daedok can only stammer, "You really are a monster martial artist." Gon stands amidst the bodies, totally unscathed, but he seems troubled. Isn't this weird? He wonders. Time for a quick flashback. A younger Gon, still in school, is facing down a whole gang. He narrates that winning a group fight is simple. His younger self, however, is getting absolutely clobbered. The key, he learned, isn't just fighting, it's making sure you take one of them down for good. Brutal. Back in the present, Gon faces the last two assassins. So basically, he ponders, which one do I choose to kill first? He checks his magazine. Low on ammo. His expression hardens, ready for the final decisive move. But something shocks our guy. What could it be? A massive explosion rips through the Black Blood sect's main hall. Meanwhile, back at the Mongu cult, Hworin slams her fist, pleading with Dongguang not to go after their leader alone. Dongguang tells her not to worry, but Hworin insists he take some backup. Another elder tries to calm Hworin, but Dongguang is absolutely resolute. Fast forward. He smashes straight through the floorboards. What an entrance. With glowing red eyes and bulging muscles, the enraged Dongguang lands with a crash, ready for a fight. He screams in panic, asking his precious leader if he's okay. Gon wonders how Dongguang got here himself, as the sidekick asks Gon how he got the blood on his face. "Ah, it's not mine," Dongguang says coolly as a dead assassin lies in front of him. Dongguang absolutely loses it, screaming the jerks who are trying to hurt his beloved master will eat their next meal in hell. Gon just thinks, "You idiot." Confused, Gon asks Dongguang if he came by himself. He cracks a tiny smirk, right before a massive fist smashes into an assassin's face out of nowhere. The guy flew like he weighs nothing. His fist glows, crackling with fiery energy as he powers up. This is going to be epic. He swiftly ties a red headband around his head, signaling he is officially getting serious. Turns out he brought the whole crew. His death squad marches in, ready to absolutely demolish the entire Black Blood sect. That's a wrap on this recap. Hit that subscribe button to help us keep pumping out awesome content. Catch you in the next one.